Yo, what's going on YouTube? Today we're gonna be watching the most poorly timed Nintendo games. I played a lot of Nintendo games, and I'm kind of interested which ones were total garbage when released. So let's find out. Let's get right into it, boys.
Create a video game. You gotta make it fun. It's gotta look good, sound good, sometimes even have a story
Yakuza.
or people to help perform
Huh.
the story.
Oh
Or
god,
sometimes it's Bowser's
that
Inside Story.
catastrophe.
We'll come back to that. You also have to choose a day for it to release. Although
Yup.
this one is normally pretty easy and inconsequential.
Just gotta put a date.
Right. I mean, you can make
Huh.
a fantastic game, market it and everything, put evil genius Hideki Kamiya behind it. Okay, nothing attached to
Yes.
this man is ever destined to fail. But if you release it at the same time as Grand Theft Auto 5,
What?
see, I believe there are two
No
types of
way
bad
they did
Nintendo
that.
games. The ones that are actually bad, fundamentally flawed, and deserve to be ostracized, and the unfortunate ones that, due to a certain
What is
timely
that?
circumstance, suffered either negative reception or poor sales.
What?
Today, please join
Who
me
is
as I
that?
open a case for many examples of the latter, and you know
Be
what?
beautiful. That's what I'm here for.
Just get it right out of the way.
What the hell? Inside story: Bowser Jr.'s journey.
The Mario
Never
and Luigi
played
series has
or
recently made a new game with Brothership.
Brothership, that I have heard
The
of.
last entry in the series before it was almost 6 years prior. Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser
What?
Jr.'s Journey, a 3DS remake
Oh,
of
okay.
a DS game in 2019. Let
Huh?
me explain. Alpha Dream had put out these titles consistently from the GBA through
Inside-
the 3DS.
oh,
but
2009.
Around the time of the Alpha Team,
Dream Team.
the Alpha Team. Around the time of Dream Team, things took a heavy
I love like
financial dip. The company found themselves massively in debt and decided a cheap return on investment would be to remake the Game Boy Advance's Superstar Saga. Classic. The game already proved its numbers, and asset reuse could make it relatively inexpensive. Plus, it
Yeah.
was a 15-year-old game that couldn't be played on a 3DS, so it had the potential to bring a new market
Ooh.
to their knees. Fighting Cackleta's soul.
What
30
is that
times
thing?
in a
That shit
row.
looks
And the final
cool.
product is a great game, probably the best way to experience Superstar Saga, although ironically regarding that Cackleta joke, it is
alright.
much easier. But it sold like blue vein ass with
What?
being that
Nintendo game
fans were
selling
distracted by
terribly?
the
That's
recently
crazy.
released Nintendo Switch.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that's a load of bullshit. Obviously, developing this game for the Switch would have been
Pokemon.
better,
What
but
was that
that's
about?
costly and much trickier than the console you've already put 3 games out on. Switches were hard to find then too, so even if the 3DS wasn't at
no.
its ripest, it was still probably the best platform for Alpha Dream. Just as
For
long
sure.
as they don't do it, you already know how this ends. In March of 2018,
Did horribly. What is that? How are they doing that? That's a thing?
Bowser's Inside Story.
You could
plus
do that with a
Bowser Jr.'s
3DS?
Journey. Yeah, I don't know why, but when I recorded this, I kept saying DX.
DX.
Is announced for 2019, and it does, in fact, come out in January of that year.
Wow.
And
for
proceeds to
them.
become one of, if not the worst-selling Mario games. And the
What?
company goes bankrupt later that year.
No
Very comedically
way.
funny when you look at the
A Mario
Luigi
game
sales, you
making
see
someone go
Bowser's
bankrupt is
Inside
crazy.
Story as both the best and worst-selling game. The Superstar Saga remake, remaster, perhaps could have sold better on Switch in 2017. It's debatable. But no 3DS game released in 2019 was ever going to crack 1 million. So let's give a quick
Yeah,
highlight reel to those
true.
guys.
Oh, I remember hearing. What is that? Oh, Persona. Advance Wars. What?
Advance Wars for the Game Boy Advance was released September 10th, 2001.
Oh, shh.
Okay, but here's the thing.
No
that was just a silly
way.
coincidence. Not Nintendo's fault. Nobody could have predicted Advance Wars.
What
would start
the
day
hell?
before we Americans advanced into a war, sort of. But 20 years later, and we've converted irony into tradition. A remake, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot.
Don't tell
Camp,
me they did the
is
same thing.
announced for the Switch in 2021 with the release date of December 3rd.
I
It
recall.
gets delayed to spring of 2022 so they can smooth out some more edges. And in spring of 2022, a massive conflict with global effects erupts in Europe. So Nintendo,
No
they're tapping into the astral plane,
fucking
making artists in
way.
this game featured on Voyan's poorly timed Nintendo games list. They delay the game again, this time indefinitely,
Bro.
because a cutesy war game launching while a real war is claiming lives
That's
today,
actually.
just not ideal.
That'd be
This
fucked.
decision is made with complete sincerity because one person around this time did accidentally get access to this game, and it was fully finished, ready for shelves. Nintendo wasn't
They
delaying
just
for their
couldn't.
own sake. They really actually meant it. And as a human being, I respect that. But as an Advance Wars fan, which no, you
surprised.
can't be both.
Hmm.
Ugh. And by doing so, they were slowly killing any chance the remake had left. A second delay, no release date, marketing ceased, hype was dying. It was
Actually,
a remake of
though,
two Game Boy
makes
Advance
sense if you
games that was
keep
only
delaying it,
launching in the
it's gonna
West, so
die
you
out.
might say the odds were never there. But finally, Advance
Reboot
Wars
camp.
manages to come out on April 21st, 2023, a whole 3 weeks before Tears.
Oh my.
It sold abysmally and will probably be the series conclusion, but don't blame me because I bought 2 copies.
Oh wow, good for him. Yo,
Super
how am I
Mario
cop
2
that?
is ass. There is no
What?
content but coin collecting, which is grindy and monotonous and too much like
It's
real
just
life.
coin collector
That said,
simulator?
This game was a huge hit. It's the 5th best selling for the console.
What?
The reception was pretty warm, much like its release date in August of 2012.
Outside
I think
Japan.
it's not the most exciting entry, all things considered, but of course, 2D
Oh, wow,
Mario
big
is
ol'
always
coin.
gonna sweep. Okay, broom.
Usually.
So why is it on this list if it didn't suffer any sales or critical backlash?
Was
The
it
answer
trash?
is in New Super Mario Bros.
You.
A much better game that just maybe did not need to be a launch title for the almighty next-gen, most expensive Nintendo console ever, Wii
The
U.
Wii
That's not
U.
to
I
say
forgot about that
you,
thing.
Came out at a bad time.
Yikes.
Okay, how are we gonna do
To
this?
you.
New Super Mario Bros. U, being a 2D
Bro.
platformer meant to showcase the powerful hardware of the Wii U, was maybe a poor idea that led to some Wii U blue balling, but it was definitely not well timed when this series just proved 3 months earlier that it evidently did not require more than a 3DS.
Oh,
What we
wow.
ultimately saw was these two
That's
games selling
fucked.
millions, but by
They
packaging
basically
them so
proved
close
they don't need
together,
that.
the new Super formula fatigue hit critical numbers.
Yeesh.
People accused Nintendo of pumping out this stale,
It's just the
cookie-cutter
same game
soulless
every
series,
time.
resulting in the very rare insider commentary, Iwata himself coming to shut down the
I'm not
haters,
milking it, eh?
promising that this back-to-back release style was
Right.
unorthodox for the company and that new Supers would only happen once per console. And though they did ease up
Not
on
milking it my
releases
ass.
after, the reputation of New Super Mario Bros. Never recovered. People only mention it in negative spaces. Deluxe is announced into loud simultaneous groaning. Wonder comes out and everyone's all
Gunning.
Thank God we're past that.
New Super Luigi U.
Jesus.
Wait, I forgot about New Super Luigi U. Maybe that should be on the
Luigi's
list.
game. Oh, what the hell? Is it just
Actually,
Luigi
never
now?
mind.
Fair enough. Luigi's a goat.
The first question I had upon my encounter with this game is
Oh,
why
iconic.
the fuck is it so expensive? Well, I'll tell you.
Iconic
just
music.
to me from 2015. This is quintessential Kirby. It's both the top of a trilogy as well as the second game if you feel like going with the dark.
Da,
minor
da,
feel.
da, da, da.
And it
Okay.
released a whole year after the Nintendo 64 when kids were already having the talk with their parents about the third
Fire beat,
Who
though.
wants to play this when this exists?
Oh,
Definitely not
wow.
me.
Yeah,
Apparently
definitely not
only
me.
About 76,000
What the fuck?
Japanese
That looks way
people
better.
did, i.e. low sales,
I mean,
outdated
if you like
perspective,
Kirby, you like
Dragon
Kirby.
Quest plagiarism. Is it
Oh,
actually bad? No,
yeah, that's
this
Dragon
is
Quest.
probably my second favorite of the games being discussed.
that a female
today.
Kirby?
It's Dreamland 2 on console and colored pencils with more animals and risky Nintendo imagery. It has co-op and it's
What?
got Rob. Okay, guys.
They got Rob.
Samus. This game has 4
Samus.
characters in Smash, but only half of them are Kirby characters. But the only thing
Wait.
worse than releasing a SNES game
How
one
the
year
hell?
after the 64 is releasing a SNES
How'd they do
game
that?
3 years after the 64,
SNES.
and it being Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
Thracia 7.
What is that
Game
one?
that I am scared to pronounce, let alone perceive. It was released in Japan
What is
in the year
this?
1999, 3 years
I
after
played a
this
good amount of
Super
Fire Emblem
Reliable
games, but
Guide,
I've
and
never heard of
exclusively for the
this.
Super Famicom R4, I mean Nintendo Power cartridges, before getting a standard boxed release in January of 2000. Any guesses as to why this game has the lowest sales in the series? Yet, Fire Emblem fans
System?
love this game, and I
Trash console?
didn't play it because I'm too dumb to figure out how translation patches work, I guess. I don't
Ah,
know.
valid.
So for this
I
one, we
don't
can only
do all
go
that
off the word of
bullshit.
others, but I believe this game to be great because nobody has ever lied about Fire Emblem being a good game. 776.
I've played a ton of them.
You gotta add the one, baby. Woo! These games are not alone.
What can I say?
though.
I like 'em.
In fact, we could probably build most of this list today
What
on
is
games that
this?
came out for dying consoles when a new one was on
Pretty
the
much,
market. Old
yeah.
Consoles have bigger install bases and are easier to develop for. So, or
What is
even
this
games that came out
game?
on consoles that didn't
What
sell
the
well. I
fuck?
could list every single
looked
Wii U game
demonic.
and say that they were poorly timed because they launched on a failing system, and that's also the
Yee.
reason half of
Yo,
them
home
get
run.
ported to the Switch.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
half of them. though.
Xenoblade Chronicles
so when
X.
I tell you about a game still stuck there
Breath
like
of-
Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
What?
Is this a poorly timed game that deserves?
Is this a
second
mobile
look?
game?
No, it's just bad. It's poorly timed because
That's the
it never
camp
should have
game.
been timed at all. But a game
Is
like
it a
Mother
Mario
3
Party?
Child of all holy, what hath transpired?
Oh.
A Game Boy Advance game released 2 years after the DS. Actually, I can't call this poorly
what?
timed because we're lucky to have gotten it at all.
We could
Earthbound
just
went
use it
through
in the
development hell, and
DS.
it almost cost us the game, but it definitely charged us the reputation of an early 90s game releasing in 1995.
Oof.
Earthbound 64, yeah, that one speaks for itself. So even though Mother 3 comes
Never
out
played
in
this series.
2006 for the
No,
Game
people
Boy
love it, though.
Advance, 2
That's
years
for sure.
post-DS, and
How much
just
hype for it?
never in America, I'm happy it
Does it just have
exists.
Ness and
Period.
Lucas?
That is not true. Nintendo, when
Those
the
fucking
fuck-
annoying Smash Brother duo.
Fire
Radiant
Emblem,
Dawn.
Radiant Dawn. Let me just begin this one by saying that Fire Emblem is not a franchise for everyone.
Nope,
and it
not at
especially
all.
Wasn't 20 years ago, and super
Doesn't help its
especially
anime
not
style.
The intended audience of the Wii. You think these motherfuckers
Armies would
know
never
what
play it.
Ether is?
Hell
Radiant Dawn in
no.
particular is a sequel to a game that
People
didn't
will find
sell
anything to
great.
hate
It's
Fire
not
Emblem for.
exactly the most welcoming in terms
Honestly,
of difficulty. Anytime
I can't
people
blame
talk
them.
about Fire Emblem back then, they just focus on permadeath and make it seem like the entire game was just meant to
Mhm.
you. And I mean, yeah, they're right. So
They had
I
to
don't
come
really
back
think a
with
different release
3
date would
houses.
save this game from
That
the low sales
pumped
it's ultimately
Fire Emblem.
received. But Nintendo did not do it any favors, choosing to launch it the same week as Mario Galaxy.
Oh my,
What is
come
wrong
on,
with you,
dude.
bro? Tellius remakes when?
Hey, Pikmin.
Pikmin 4 has been officially announced by Nintendo.
Okay.
Pikmin's
in
so
2015.
random when it
When did
releases.
the game come out?
2023.
Okay, so let's zoom out and look at this circumstantially.
I mean, I heard it was
2015
good.
was a lousy year for Nintendo as the Wii U falls further behind the competition. They need something, and so Miyamoto just
Oh, wow.
casually mentions that Pikmin 4 is like so totally done, sis. And wow, what a shocker! The fan base really holds on. To
A
being told
decade
that a
ago?
beloved first-party IP should be happening.
Wow,
soon.
dude.
Obviously, it doesn't for 8 years. There is something to be said about that alone. But in 2017, Nintendo released a Pikmin game called Hey Pikmin and was very vague
Hey
about
Pikmin.
whether or not this was the game they had been referencing as Pikmin 4.
No way, dude.
It's developed by
Should-
Azrest,
hopefully
which
not.
Sounds kind of familiar.
I mean, it's
How should we
not,
start
I
talking
think.
about all this again?
I don't know
And
anything
it's a
about Pikmin.
neat little
What am I talking
2D
about?
platformer that has a Pikmin skin and vibe, but doesn't explore the RTS side of things as much as the main series. It's easy to tell how the perception of portability shaped the experience they wanted to offer. I also personally think it controls kind of weird. Not that controls have ever been the strong suit of Pikmin, but Miyamoto
Oh,
later
wow.
clarified that Pikmin 4 was
Oh,
still
4.
progressing,
It was just a
separating the two
random.
entities, but that didn't stop people from acting like this game was named Hey You Pikmin, resulting in backlash over what the game wasn't. And of course, low sales. In one corner,
Pikmin's
you could
going
say Hey
crazy.
Pikmin is poorly timed coming out post-Switch pre-4. In another, you could say all of this could have been avoided if Miyamoto had just held his tongue, even when PR told him to. But honestly, Hey Pikmin is kind of mid. Like, this is probably my least favorite game here on the list. Its novelty only exists
I
in the fact
mean,
that
yeah.
It's, the
It's not
only
even an
spin-off
actual
and
Pikmin game.
2D. It's fun to
Technically.
play, but I'd
It's
rather
just
play
a
Nintendo
throwaway.
Land Pikmin instead.
I don't
now
get the
this is a
likability of
flipper
Metro.
flippity-flip.
Metro Prime.
Metroid Prime started
Metroid,
off risky.
my bad.
It could have been the worst-selling game in the
I still don't
series
get
when it released.
what-
The 2D
what people like
exploration
about
game
it.
with platforming elements transitioned into a 3D first-person exploration game with platforming elements. That's a big change in a historically successful franchise, but it must have been very correctly timed because it took the Metroid series into a next-gen identity along with the GameCube, and Metroid Prime goes on to become the then best-selling game in the series. A
What?
result, perhaps,
I genuinely
throwing
don't get
Nintendo
it.
into a state of cockiness. Years later, when it comes to Metroid Prime 2, the sales less than half of Prime 1 and the worst-selling console game until Other M. How could the sequel do so poorly when the first game was such a smash hit?
Golly,
Metroid Prime
dude.
2 is a fantastic game. People know this now, and they did then. But deciding to launch your game within a week of both Halo 2 and Half-Life 2, that was a
Bro.
really
That's
great
stupid.
decision. Many people theorize that while these games are totally different, and that's more so recognized now, in the second entry, they were still seen as occupying similar territory, futuristic aliens. And of course, Halo 2 was going to come out on top, leading to the dip in
Every
sales
time.
that the third game only kind of fixed, not really, still under half. This takes us into a Metroid Prime drought. Metroid Prime 4 is one of the most hyped up Nintendo games in the past decade. That's because you gotta understand how long people were asking for it. Nintendo puts the Metroid Prime
I remember
series on
every
hiatus. They
single
have retro
Nintendo Direct. Metroid, 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 please,
And then in
please.
2017,
Everyone
they
and their
put out
mother wanted that.
number and the internet ends. People were thirsty. They really love seeing Metroid Prime.
I remember
4,
seeing
and
it
I
like,
think it was only
okay,
made worse
yes.
after. Oh my God!
What
How many times
is
will it- I mean,
this?
how many times will I be blessed to retell the fascinating biblical story of Metroid Prime Federation Force? I think this is like the 5th time on the channel. So this is like throwing a Slim Jim into a crowd of starving peasants. The trailer heard round the world. Nintendo returns to this series for the first time in 5 years since Other M, and it's... do we have... You know! The backlash was unprecedented. There has never been a worse reaction.
99K.
Decent game. There are not many first-person
What
co-op
the
shooters on
hell?
the 3DS, and playing as not Samus in a Metroid universe is a great concept. And what's interesting is that the genuine faults of this game, stuff like the crazy high solo difficulty and the final boss, are never actually criticized by anyone because motherfuckers were fuming at the mere concept. Nobody played it. It's probably the most ill-timed Nintendo game ever, which is why we're gonna close the list with it. It's definitely the worst selling in the series, and if Samus Returns and Federation Force swapped release dates, both games would have profited. Oh yeah, shout out Samus Returns. People say it sold badly because it came out after the Switch. Once again, I don't think that's the case. It was only a few months, and Metroid's first real return in years? Oh no, hold on. Pause.
I gotta say anything about Metroid, dude. I don't know what it is.
On a twist happy note. There's been a lot of choices
Smash?
made by Nintendo intentionally
Diddy
about
Kong,
when to
Diddy
release a
Kong
game
on
with
top.
the end result being
What's
that
that?
said game takes a bit of a blow.
Fire Emblem.
Releasing near a much bigger title or releasing a spin-off game when the fans
Yo,
are
the
hungry for
fighting
new
Pokemon
lines, saturating
game. I
their
played the
own
demo for
pool
that.
with too much of the same. Perhaps even releasing a game during
Oh, Advance
unpredictable world
Wars
events
again.
that makes it much less appealing in nature. But regarding that, I'm right now
I just might buy that on God.
time
If
when
it's on
Nintendo
sale.
actually did the opposite with their launch date. Instead of it being a poorly timed game, it is maybe the greatest timed game ever. And I'm talking, as you may have guessed, about Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Animal
Originally slotted
Crossing.
to release in the year 2019.
No way
we
that
were
did
all so
bad.
heartbroken when it got delayed to March 20th, 2020. Yet nobody would know how badly the world would need it at this exact time. 5 years
Yo,
ago.
the
What
best
Coleman said to us is
release
Horizon
ever
Zero Dawn
by
back.
made
What
by
is such a
Nintendo.
unique experience that no other game could
People
even
needed
begin to replicate.
this.
Hopefully this never happens again. All my friends were playing it, even friends who don't play
Bro,
simulation games. Even
People
friends who
were
don't play games.
doing their college graduations in this game. This was the game. I remember this shit. If you wanted a life and you couldn't leave the house, you had Animal Crossing. You can talk to the hippo next door, the sea rats, I don't know, the fox trying to scam you with art, dude. This had everything you wanted when you were stuck inside. This was amazing when it released. I fell off of it
We spent
after
hours
COVID.
hanging out, fishing, building
My
stuff.
bad.
The most remarkable part
It
of
was
New Horizons
beautiful.
launching when it did is that I actually really kind of have a ton of problems with this game. A lot of people do. But because it came out when it did, cushioning the plague with a singing dog, I will never be able to revoke its real homie pass.
It's like fighting water in a desert. What is that? What the fuck? What in the world? Okay, whatever, dude. Anyways, well, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was actually pretty enlightening. Anything before or after Metroid I got, but Metroid, I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know anything about Metroid. Don't think I'll ever play it. Lol. Sponsored? Hopefully, maybe one day. Probably not. Lamau. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know. Oh, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have any suggestions down below of what to watch. Totally be down. I don't mind. I like suggestions. Right now, I'm just going through it, as you can tell from my tabs. So, anyways, catch you guys on the next one. See ya.